This is Korea news for June 13, 2022. North Korea did not mention the missile provocation on the 12th. Continue non-disclosure behavior. On the 13th, North Korean state media did not cover the multiple missile provocation the previous day. It mainly consisted of the meeting of the Secretariat of the Central Committee of the North Korean Workers' Party, the situation of quarantine and control, and economic performance. According to the Joint Chiefs of Staff, a number of projectiles presumed to be multiple rocket launchers were detected between 8:07 a.m. and 11:03 a.m. on the 12th. It is known that the missile was launched from the west coast to the West Sea with a scale of about 5. The multiple missile provocation is the first military action in a week since the launch of 8 short-range ballistic missiles, SRBMs, in series on the 5th at Sunan in Pyongyang, Gichon in Pyongnam, Dongchang-arai in North Pyongbuk, and Hamhyung in Hamnam. North Korea has kept secret its military actions since the test launch of a new tactical guided weapon on April 15. In the case of North Korea's multiple missile provocation, the South Korean side did not disclose it either, but announced the launch later that evening. The general strike of the cargo solidarity, the national logistics hostage. The order to commence business should be reviewed. 31 organizations in the economy and industry called for the strike to stop, calling the general strike an extreme struggle with national logistics as a hostage. These groups also ordered the government to actively review the order to start work. These groups said, as the collective transportation refusal of the cargo solidarity is prolonged, the supply and demand for cement, petrochemicals, steel, as well as automobiles and electronic parts are being disrupted did. And these groups demanded that the strike be stopped as soon as possible. The cargo solidarity went on a general strike from the 7th, insisting on the abolition of the safe fare system at sunset. The safe freight system is a minimum wage system in the freight industry that requires the shipper to pay more than a set freight rate to the freight owner. The key requirement is to extend the safety fare system that sets sunset at the end of this year or to abolish the sunset system. Businesses such as shippers say it is difficult to accept the request of the cargo solidarity, saying that it will increase the sales burden. The government is trying to find a compromise between the two sides, but so far has not yielded much. In the midst of this, 31 economic groups suggested to the government, we should consider issuing an order for the cargo solidarity to start work. He asked for decisive action against illegal acts such as obstruction of transport and violence. According to the Freight Vehicle Transportation Business Act, the Minister of Land, Infrastructure, and Transport may cause or threaten to cause a very serious crisis to the national economy by refusing to transport cargo in a group without any justifiable reason, causing or fearing to cause a very serious crisis in the national economy. If there is, it may order the transport business entity or transport person to commence business. Failure to do so will result in penalties such as revocation of the Cargo Transportation Act license. It was introduced at the time of the revision of the Freight Vehicle Transportation Business Act in 2003, but the order was never actually issued. Coach Hwang Sin-hong lost 0-3 to Japan in the U-23 Asian Cup quarterfinals. Undefeated for 2 consecutive losses. Korean football failed to win the Asian Cup for the second time in a row with the Asian Football Confederation, AFC, U23, U23, Asian Cup losing streak to Japan. The under-23 soccer team, led by coach Hwang Sin-hong, suffered a 0-3 loss in the quarterfinals of the 2022 AFC U23 Asian Cup against Japan held at the Paktaker Stadium in Tashkent, Uzbekistan on the 12th at 10 p.m. Korean time. Korea, the winner of the previous tournament, failed to make it to the semifinals, and their second consecutive defeat was cancelled. This is the first time that Korea has failed to reach the semifinals of this tournament, which was launched in 2013. On the other hand, Japan, aimed at the 2024 Paris Olympics, consisted of under-21, U21 players, but those who played the main role in their team showed off their harmonious performance. It was a team that was actually 2 years younger than Korea. In this age group, a 1 to 2 year difference affects performance and physical strength, but Japan has rather attacked Korea with a clever and experienced operation. Japan, which defeated Korea 3-0 in the quarter-finals, will compete with the host country, Uzbekistan, to advance to the final. On the other hand, it is the first time in 23 years that Korea has lost to Japan by 3 goals in this age group since the evaluation match, 1-4, held in Tokyo, Japan in September 1999. The movie Crime City 2 ranks 5th in the world's grossing 1 week. Will it be a global hit? Crime City 2, a crime/action film starring Ma Dong-seok, ranked 5th in the weekly global box office rankings, distribution company Avio Entertainment announced on the 12th. Avio Entertainment, citing market research firm Comscore, reported that Crime City 2 generated $1,728 million in revenue worldwide from the 30th of last month to the 5th of this month. It said that it ranked 5th in box office revenue after Top Gun, Maverick, Jurassic World, Dominion, Doctor Strange, Chaos Multiverse and Bad Guys. Crime City 2 recorded more than 15.1 billion won in sales in Korea alone, ranking 9th in box office revenue among all-time open films. In addition, for the first time since the outbreak of Corona-19, it surpassed 10 million viewers in Korea the day before. As of the 11th, it was ranked 28th in the domestic box office ranking with a cumulative number of audiences of about 1,172,000, but it is analyzed that domestic movie theaters raised ticket prices several times during the pandemic, earning a high profit compared to the number of audiences. Crime City 2, which was pre-sold to 132 countries before its release, has been released in 8 countries including Taiwan, Mongolia, the United States, Singapore, Indonesia, Cambodia, Canada, and Hong Kong and is meeting audiences. It will also be released sequentially in Thailand, the Philippines, and Malaysia. Dinner with the President, actor Song Kang-ho and director Park Chan-wook. Supporting the film industry, but not interfering. On the 12th, President Yoon Suk-yeol had a dinner at the presidential office in Yongsan-gu, Seoul, inviting movie stars such as actor Song Kang-ho and director Park Chan-wook. President Yoon said, "The keynote of the Yoon Suk-yeol government's culture and arts policy is support but not interfere." Well, he said. President Yoon had a private dinner with filmmakers on a special stage in the lawn in front of the presidential office this afternoon. Song Kang-ho, who won the Best Actor award at the Cannes Film Festival for appearing in the movie The Broker, Park Chan-wook, who won the Best Director award for the movie The Decision to Break Up, I'm Kwon-taek, an elder filmmaker, and Kim Dong-ho, chairman of the Gangneung International Film Festival, and representatives of major production companies and investment distribution companies. Invited. The dinner was also attended by Kim Kun-hee, wife of President Yoon. President Yoon Suk-yeol and his wife, Kim Gun-hee, watched the movie The Broker at the Megabox Songsu store in Songdong-gu, Seoul at 2:20 p.m. that day. President Yoon, wearing a navy blue jacket, gray pants, and a white shirt, appeared at the cinema in a checkered short-sleeved blouse and a black skirt, and after purchasing general tickets for the movie, entered the cinema. After watching the movie, President Yoon and his wife left the movie theater, and about 30 of the citizens who watched the movie together looked at President Yoon and his wife. In response to the reporters asking about their impressions of the movie, President Yoon said, "It's a bit like trying to talk about your feelings right away after watching a movie," but he said, "It's not because it's a film that won an award at Cannes. I think it's a film that gives a good message that we should be together." When asked if he was asked, "You have a lot of contact with citizens for meals, walks, etc. Is there any particular reason you are paying attention?" President Yoon said, "There is no particular reason. Shouldn't I have some of the image of myself?" He replied. 7 men and 4 women were beaten at a Chinese restaurant. In a Chinese restaurant, 9 men mercilessly assaulted 4 women. It happened when women protested against men who tried to make physical contact. Although local social media has pointed out that it is a gender issue, the state media said that it is a matter of public safety. According to Chinese media Soho on the 11th, the incident occurred at a restaurant in Lobei District, Tangshan City, Hebei Province, around 2:40 a.m. on the 10th. It started when Ms. Chun approached a woman who was eating at a restaurant. According to CCTV of the restaurant at the time, Chun approached the table where 4 women were eating, and she spoke to one of them. Chun then puts her hand on the woman's back, and she pushes him away. When Chun tries to touch her woman's face, she pushes him away and tilts her body to the opposite side. At that moment, Mr. Chun slaps the woman on the cheek and swings her fist. This woman and one other woman also counterattack by throwing a bottle at Chun's head. As the other women stand up to stop the fight, the Cheon family, who were watching outside the restaurant, rushes into the restaurant. They mercilessly assault women by throwing objects around them, such as chairs and plates. They then dragged women out of the restaurant, kicking and assaulting them without mercy. The Chun clan fled the scene immediately after the incident. 2 of the women were reported to have been hospitalized for injuries and are receiving treatment. Thank you for watching today. Please subscribe and set the like alarm.